evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Around 90,000 residents in the Slavonski Brod area are without drinking water. The presence of petroleum hydrocarbons has been detected in the local water supply. Residents are getting clean water from tanker trucks. The Red Cross has delivered around 90,000 liters of bottled water for the elderly and other people who may not be able to get to the 7 locations where water is being distributed. The news comes a day after local officials in Slavonski Brod expressed frustration over the handling of an oil spill that occurred last week during work on an oil pipeline by Crodux. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković and 2 of his ministers went to Slavonski Brod today to assess the situation.
We are going to move quickly to connect the Slavonski Brod network to the water plant in Sikirevci. This will take 10 to 15 days. An inspection of the full length of the 4.5-kilometer-long pipeline did not show any other breaches. As far as could be determined from above ground, there is no evidence of more crude oil or derivative spillage. There is no need to worry or panic. Everyone will have access to potable water. Bottled water will be delivered this afternoon.
We are very concerned. We don't know how long this will last. Many of us have children, and we just realized we've been drinking this water for 2 days now.
Petroleum hydrocarbons in themselves are luckily not extremely toxic, especially if exposure is brief. So people who've been drinking the water since March 28th should not be concerned.
The mayor of Slavonski Brod is convinced the polluted water is connected to the oil spill. Crodux had been testing the pipeline it intends to use to deliver natural gas to the Russian oil refinery across the border in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is part of a deal reached with the Russians to reduce air pollution in the area. Sources say the mayor has filed a criminal complaint against Crodux. The company denies any link to the polluted water, arguing that the spill had taken place 3 to 5 kilometers away from the town's water plant. SDP leader Davor Bernardić visited the oil spill location and the water plant in Slavonski Brod today. He said local residents had been breathing polluted air for years now, and now their water has been tainted. He called out the government for failing to deal with the town's environmental issues.
I am calling on the government to take swift action to solve this problem. The oil refinery must either be modernized or shut down, but it must not be allowed to continue poisoning the residents of Slavonski Brod with polluted air and water. They are not second-class citizens. The government's inaction has put human lives at risk.
It's been 27 years since the death of Josip Jović, the first casualty in the homeland war. Jović died during a special forces operation to fend off rebel Serbs who had taken control of Plitvice Lakes National Park and blocked the main road connecting the country's north and south. Several hundred veterans were joined by top officials in marking the anniversary.
By commemorating Josip's death, we remember not only all of our fallen veterans, but all the parents who lost their sons and daughters in the homeland war, all of the families who lost loved ones.
On this Holy Saturday, Zagreb Archbishop Cardinal Josip Bozanić has issued an Easter greeting calling for peace and forgiveness.
When we struggle to take that first step, when we cannot reach out to those closest to us, our family, our community, we must remember that someone has already taken that first step for us. God, who has forgiven us. To forgive does not mean to forget the past. Forgiveness is resurrection. That is the beginning of a new life. When we pray that God treats us the way we treat others.
Osiek's main square was draped in Easter decorations today. It's become a local tradition that on Holy Saturday, hundreds of bikers dressed as Easter bunnies ride into town. The city also created the world's largest Easter nest, piling on 3 tons of hay, which was a real treat for youngsters. There was also a bunny petting zoo.
It is definitely the largest Easter nest in the world. It's located in the center of Bunnytown. You can see the kids playing. We've got some huge Easter eggs. This is the 4th year we're doing this.
We've brought some bunnies because of the Bunny Bikers event. There's a lot of kids here, and we brought the bunnies so they can play with them.
Taking a look at sports in football, Hajduk and Rijeka played to a 1-1 draw today in Split. This means both teams retain their current positions in the rankings. Hajduk is in second place and Rijeka is in third. Meanwhile, Dinamo and Inter played to a scoreless draw tonight. In earlier National League action, Osijek beat Slaven Belupo 3-0 and Cibalia and Lokomotiva played to a 1-1 draw.
Tomorrow's forecast calls for variable clouds with some sunny spells mixed in. There will still be some rain overnight, and in the east and south of the country in the morning as well. Sunny spells are forecast for the afternoon, but the interior may get some scattered showers. Southeasterly winds are expected on the coast, and they will shift to a west-northwesterly direction later. Morning lows will be between 2 and 8 in the interior and 6 and 11 on the Adriatic. The day's highs will range mostly from 10 to 15 degrees. Sunny and dry weather is expected at the beginning of the new week. Daytime temperatures will rise, but the mornings will remain brisk, especially on Monday, when there is a chance of frost at higher elevations. Clouds accompanied by southwesterly winds will set in on Wednesday, bringing rain by the end of the day. There will also be rain on the north coast on Wednesday, but the rest of the shore will stay mostly dry. Southeasterly winds will begin to rise again on Tuesday. Temperatures are expected to warm up gradually during the week.
And that brings us to the end of the news. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.